Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are in another fast for this week. I've got my stuff here, and I'm getting set up for what we're going to eat for our last meal. Those of you who are coming in to join us for this fast, I'm so excited. I got some good stuff that you'll take a look. We're gonna create. We're gonna create together what I'm gonna eat. You'll get to see what I'm selecting from, and it is a selection. I've got a few things that we're gonna look at here. But whatever platform you're joining us from, whether that is LinkedIn, of course, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Glad that you're here. If you're joining us from overseas or whether you're joining us from right here in the United States, we welcome you to the space. We know we've got folks who watch us from all over. We've got some people, I shouldn't say all over. We got people who are in New Zealand. We've got folks who are in Korea. We've got folks, of course, here in the United States from California, Nebraska, Texas. We've got some folks in here in Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, Georgia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, the Carolinas, Floridas. So just a lot of places that people are joining us from. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We're in another fast for this week. As you know, we do a fast a week, and you get to see what I'm going to eat for my last meal as I get into that fast for this week. And just so excited because it's another opportunity for me and us to take charge of our health and to do something that actually has a powerful effect on our metabolism. And that actually is the thing that we're working on. How do we fix our metabolism? How do we right the metabolism? How do we get that metabolism functioning in the right way? Because as we know, dysfunctional metabolism is at the heart of many of our chronic illnesses, chronic diseases, things like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, of course, fatty liver, prediabetes, and diabetes. The metabolism is dysfunctional, and so that is what causes our issue. We are working on righting the metabolism so that we can get back into the space where we need to be for health. And so one of the things that we do is we fast. Fasting is part of our health action plan. Remember, there are three pillars, or three tiers to that, with 7 pillars. It's walking and fasting, strength training, balance bites, mental mastery, rest and recovery, and then of course strategy of structure and planning. So those are the pillars, and one of those is what we do here, which is fasting. So we once a week we do a fast. If you're joining us for the first time, that's where you catch us now as we begin this week's fast. And it is a powerful tool that we use to be able to improve the metabolism. Remember, when we fast, we decrease our insulin, we suppress our appetite, and we reduce sugar. And those are the 3 pillars of reversing diabetes. But not just that, when we do that, when we're able to do that successfully, we also get the benefit that it is a domino effect on all those other diseases that we just mentioned in that spectrum. Remember, diabetes is the ultimate in the spectrum of metabolic diseases. What does that mean? That diabetes is the prototypic metabolic disease, but all the other diseases along the spectrum, anything from high blood pressure, obesity, fatty liver, hypertension, high cholesterol, all of those along that spectrum improve if we do the things that we need to do for diabetes, then those improve as well. Okay? So, and so when we're fasting, if you're using a tool, you want to know how that tool works. And that's where you catch us now. We are in the process of walking through that. Just a couple of housekeeping things. If you're new to the channel, returning to the channel, or simply just want to know or refresh your mind, what are we doing? How do we do things? What are the pillars of our conversation, pillars of what we teach here on the channel? Go to the YouTube channel, and there should be 2 playlists that you will see there. One is entitled Start Here, and that is for you if you want to jump in. If you're new to the channel, you went away and you're back and you want to know, hey, let me refresh my mind on what the pillars are that Dr. Wood teaches. Or if you are part of the community and you simply want to go back and refresh your mind on some of those things, you would go there to the Start Here playlist. And that's a curated list of all the videos that we've done that are pivotal in going down the path. Now, all the other videos, and we've done over 2,100 videos now that are on the channel, are still there. But this is the Start Here. You start through that list. And as you run into different topics, you can still go to the channel and search for those and find them because they're also categorized. But just to get started, just to begin walking down the path, this is where you would go. There's a free downloadable PDF that you can get. There is a link in the description of the playlist that you go there, download it, and it helps to walk you through the pathway, helps you walk you through those videos. And then at the end, there's a limitless living over here, commitment statement that you get to sign and date. And I recommend that you print it out, put it on the wall, put it in a frame, put it on your mirror, put it somewhere where you can see it, where you can begin to see every day the thing that you're committed to in terms of your health. The second playlist that you'll see there is one that's entitled This Week's Videos. So if you want to know what are we doing this week, what are the topics for this week, what are the shows that we've done this week, then you would go to this week's videos, and that allows you to just see what is going on in relatively real time, right? Because we've got our Bridge to Mastery series that's going on right now, which is at the end of the Strength, Strategy, and Mindset. We've got our Dwain Woode MD Live, which came on yesterday. And of course, this video that you're watching right now will show up in that list once we are done. So if you want to see all the videos that we do for this week, the topics we do for this week, the fast for this week, if you want to see, hey, what did he eat for his last meal for this week? What does he eat for his first meal after the fast? Then you would come to this playlist, and that's what you will see there. The same thing is replicated if you go to our DwainWoodeMD.com. That's our website. And look through there. After you see that welcome video from me, then there are two buttons that you will see. One says watch videos, and one will say download free PDF. Okay, so that's it. If you are tired of the process, if you're tired of getting on that hamster wheel and continuing to do things that don't seem to make a big difference in your health, in your metabolism, in your weight, in your blood sugar, in your diabetes, then I encourage you to scroll down just a bit further on that DwainWoodeMD.com, and you see there our accelerator. And our accelerator is the vehicle. That's our platform vehicle that helps you incorporate all the things that we're learning into a digestible, sustainable form that you can then implement and install into your life to get you the benefit. We are talking about how do we get long-term health and long-term life. That's it. All the other things that we talk about, blood sugar, cholesterol, high blood pressure, fatty liver, obesity, all of the benefits that we get there when your blood sugar goes down, when your weight improves, when your fatty liver goes away, all of those are side effects of what we're doing as we work to be healthy. Okay? So remember, the goal is how do I stay alive as long as possible and how do I stay as healthy as possible? And as I do that, as I walk down that path, the things that happen to me are benefits that come from that. So my A1C would go down, my weight will improve, my fatty liver gets better, my cholesterol improves. When I go to my doctor, they take me off of medication because I have all of these benefits. Okay? All right. Now, having said that, let's go ahead and let's jump in so you get to see what I'm going to eat for the first time, or for my last meal. I shouldn't say for the first time. Let's go here for my last meal. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you. We got several things here we're going to choose from. Let's see. And let's get a camera on so you can see some of these things. And then I'm going to just go here. All right. So what do we have? Actually, I'm going to do a different one. Yeah, switch. Okay. So here I have, this is a salad that I got from one of our local restaurants. And you see there that it has lettuce. We've got some cheese in there. We got some tomatoes. And then, of course, there's the dressing. Here is a ribeye. This is a steak from one of our local restaurants as well. And there are some mashed potatoes that are in here. And then I went down to the cafeteria, and in the cafeteria, I created a salad. And actually, I didn't create the salad. I just got some of the fixings. So there's some cheese, there's some carrots. Down there, we got some sunflower seeds, some tomatoes. We've got banana peppers, and of course cucumbers, and back to the cheese. And then the final thing that I have, let me move this over a little bit. The final thing that I have was I did go down to the cafeteria, and they have, this is a, and you can't see that so well, but it's a turkey burger patty, and on top of that there's some cheese and there's some mayo, right? So that's what we have so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some of this back, and let's go ahead and let's create the meal. So of course we're going to grab the steak, right? Potatoes, not so much. I'm gonna get rid of those. I'm gonna close that up. And then for my salad, for the salad, I'm going to start with this as my base. Let's get this out of here. Start with this as my base. And then I'm going to add some of the things that we have that came from downstairs. So I'm going to put some cucumbers in there because I don't see a whole lot of those. I'm going to put some banana peppers in there because I didn't see a lot of those either. And then I love cheese, so we're going to put some more cheese on there. Sprinkle that top. And how about some sunflower seeds? What do you think? And actually, the sunflower seeds is sunflower seeds, and also has, it looks like some walnuts in there. Okay. And how about some carrots? Sure. That's what we'll do. And so here's our steak. And here's our salad. And then I'm going to get some of the dressing. And this is ranch, because that's, I don't have any, I think I told you that there was some ranch or some dressing that I liked from one of our local restaurants. I didn't pick any up today. And so if I had to make a choice, then ranch becomes the second choice. There we go. Get that there. Now what I should have done is walk through our balanced bites before I put the dressing, but hey, I didn't do that. So balanced bites. So whole foods is the first thing. And so when we look at this meal, right, most things in there are whole foods. So we've got the non-whole foods would be, of course, the dressing and the dressing and the cheese. Whole foods, minimized processing. Once again, the cheese and the dressing would be not the processed ones, and the sugar, no added sugar. Dressing, once again, lean protein. So I've got my ribeye, right, and this one, man, this is a little harder than the one I had last week. That's not from the same place. So I've got my ribeye. I've got some cheese in there, so that's fat. Lean protein, healthy fats. Let's see. In here, I don't see a whole lot of starchy vegetables, so we're gonna say this is mostly non-starchy vegetables. And then portion controlled, right? Portion controlled, and probably that right here, that part would be the size of my, if I were to do a size of a deck of cards, and tasty and flavorful. Mhm. So yeah, I'm expecting that's gonna be tasty and flavorful. Let's go ahead and get this set up. And let's do this. So you can. All right. And so that's what we're eating. Bring this over a little bit. And so here's our steak. And so I usually start with the salads. Let me go ahead and do that. I usually start with the salad because the salad gives me bulk. It allows me to also get fiber. It also gives me some um, allows me to, like, if I'm eating something that has a lot of carbs, it'll blunt the absorption of the carbs as well. Mm, very good. So, what are you eating if you are fasting with us? What are you eating as your last meal? Mm, this is good. There's also some is that baby spinach that's in there? Delicious. So as you know, I start my fast after my meeting on Tuesdays. Mm. Mhm. See Cornelia out there. She said another delicious steak. She said I'm whimpering, and it is good, Cornelia. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Now I haven't cut into the steak yet, but the salad certainly is delicious. So if you are fasting with us, so let's go through that list. If you're fasting with us and this is the first time that you're fasting, I want you to put first time in the comments. That's not necessarily the first time that you're with us, but the first time that you're fasting. You may have been here and you weren't quite sure about fasting, whether you should, whether you could, and you're ready to plunge in, ready to jump in right now. Go ahead. Let me go ahead and go ahead and drop that. Drop that in the chat. Mother told me not to talk with my mouth full, and I just found out why. Now you'll notice that in the list of things that I had that I could have eaten was included that the mashed potatoes, and I'm deliberately not eating that, particularly as my last meal, because I don't want my blood sugars to spike. Because if they spike, then my body's going to produce insulin, and then I'm setting myself up for difficulty in the fast. Okay, so if you're fasting for the first time with us, put first time. If you are going to be fasting, and you fasted before with us, you're fasting the first day, put a 1, fasted the second day, put a 2, third day, put a 3, and of course, if you're fasting for the total time, put a T. Now this sounds so good. Look at this. I'm eating up the whole thing. Mm. Also, what I like about the salads, and particularly these, is that there's so many different textures, right? There's crunchy, there's soft, there's creamy. Fresh tasting. Mm, very good. Okay, let's go ahead and let's move that out. And let's get our steak. Let's see, let's do it that way. There we go. Hmm. And this one, I think, is a little more well done than we had last time. But let's go ahead. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit more well done, but hey, that's okay. Mm, well done, but good. Somebody said to me the last week I was triggering them with the steak that I was eating. So we've been in our, or we are, I should say, we are in our series entitled Play Your Own Game. And last night we talked about comparison and how that plays into our health. See, Cornelius says, I'm doing one meal a day for 3, and then 3 total for the weekend. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So, which is actually a great place to continue the conversation I just started. That when we're walking down the pathway, the principles are the same. The principles are the same for everyone. So we look at A1Cs and we want to reach the same A1C. We look at blood pressure and we expect blood pressure to be a certain amount. We look at weight and we have certain criteria for weight. Those fundamentals don't change. Now, when they do change them, for instance, the standard people who come up with the standards come up and they say, hey, we're changing this, then we shoot for the new standard. But until then, the standard that we have is what we use. So you can decide that for me, my A1C is going to be an 8 or a 9 because that's what I want to do. Mm. Then you're not playing a game, you're just creating random rules. So within that, we can do and we can achieve our goals in lots of different ways. So you do not have to play somebody else's game. And often the reason we play other people's game is because, well, one is that we're comparing. You know, she lost more weight than I did, and we're doing the same thing. Or he is going to the gym the same amount as I am, and yet he's getting more tone, no more definition. And so either we become discouraged and we stop, or We dig in and we overcommit and we overreach. So we don't want to be in any of those spaces. So your fasting schedule may be different. I do a 72-hour fast once a week. Metabolically, it gives me what I need, what I think my body needs. When I'm eating, the things I like to eat may be different from the things you like to eat. Maybe different from the things Cornelia likes to eat. We don't have to eat the same thing, but the principles are the same. Whole foods, minimize processing, no added sugar, lean protein, healthy fats, starchy and non-starchy vegetables, tasty, flavorful, and portion controlled. How you implement that is up to you, as long as you are achieving the goals. Now, one of the places where I often have interesting conversations with people is that they want to play their own game. But in their game, the goalpost, the metrics are different. I shouldn't say the metrics, but the goal of the game is different. And I tell them, no, you can't have a different goal. We're shooting for the same goal. How we get there is different. That is where play your own game comes into play. But we're still shooting for the right A1C, still shooting for the right weight. Hi, Bowie. And Bowie saying hi. Glad you're here with us. You get to see this is my meal. Once again, I'm having a steak, a little bit more well done than we normally are used to, but and Bowie said, "Did you enjoy your vacation?" I sure enough did. It was an amazing time. The conference I went to occurs every 5 years, and the last one was canceled due to the pandemic. And so it's been the first one in almost 10 years. And so my son, who we took, this was his first opportunity to go where he actually remembered. And so it was amazing. We had about 4,000 people, close to 4,000. But thank you for asking. Uh, so this is the end of our meal. Already ate most of the salad. Go ahead and bring that over. Most of that is gone. And now I'm working on the steak. And steak wise, this is what I have left. But you guys saw the choices that I had. And I'll come back. Let's do that now. So things that I did not eat. That's a turkey burger. some mashed potatoes that came along with the steak. It looked good. And then I created the salad from things that I got from the cafeteria downstairs. Okay. And so that was our selection. That's what we used to create. So Bowie says today was my first solid food in a week. I don't have rotisserie chicken and rice. Boy, congratulations. Wow, wow. I'm so proud of you. That is amazing. Okay, so congratulations to you on your on that fast. You gotta tell us what's your energy like? What was your energy like? Cornelia says, hi Bowie. Says great job fasting. Awesome. All right. Let me go up here. So another great last meal. I don't like to say last meal because that sounds so final, but this is my meal prior to my fast. You guys saw what it is. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll check in again tomorrow night. Um, we'll have a new show tomorrow night as we do our check in at 33 hours. Tomorrow at lunchtime, will be 24 hours, and as we move through the rest of the week. Now, Bowie says I developed a new. Is that Bowie or is that yeah? So I developed a new appreciation for food. My energy was pretty low. Um, Low key all last week, but it feels better today. Okay, awesome, awesome, and that's a 70. That's an entire week fasting. Awesome. So actually just was talking to some folks today about fasting. Some of my colleagues here in the area. So we'll talk a little bit about what the consensus is um, on some of their thoughts. But I've got to go now and go see some patients. So thank you for coming through. Hey, come back tomorrow. Once again, if you're fasting, you can drop it in the comments even after we go off. Whether this is your first time, you're fasting the first day, second day, third day, or the total time. We'll see you tomorrow for our check-in, and as we move through the rest of the week. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. Now go live a limitless life, and we'll see you in the community, and we'll see you on the show. Bye-bye, everybody.